Hi, everybody. I'm glad to have you all here with me. It looks like there's a big light streak coming in front of my face. Let's see if that's a lot better. But we don't get to see the wonderful green, but that's okay. This is how it will be. I wonder if I do this. I'll just keep it as it is. Welcome, Jules. Welcome, everybody. I'm Natalie, spiritual life coach and Reiki master teacher and intuitive. Today we'll be continuing our study on conversations with God. Hi, Matthew. Hi, April. This book. If anybody wants a free link to the audiobook of that book, send me a private message. Good evening, J.E. Nice to see you again. And Jamie. So, yeah. I know some of you already here were here for the Reiki in the morning. So how was your day since we've last seen each other? And how did the Reiki session here with me impact you through your day? Did it bring value? Curious if it made any difference. Hi, Wendy. Good evening. So, as we jump in, I want to ask if anybody is brand new to this book, Conversations with God. So I can give a very brief recap. And if not, we can jump on in. April, awesome. So April and anyone else, you've not been on this specific live stream before where we talk about conversations with God? Going once, going twice. Anyone else? So basically, it is a book that was channeled in the early 90s or the mid 90s. Hi, Rochelle. Glad to see you. And Rose and Mishi. Rose, I know you talked about your morning when you were here for the Reiki earlier. Wondering how your day went. Jessica, welcome. So, and if you don't already, housekeeping, just an invitation, if you don't already, to give me a follow here on Insight Timer. I'm also uploading all my replays here to YouTube on my channel. Follow me there, Facebook and Instagram, and check my website. I'm offering right now a visioning conversation, a visioning session one-on-one with me. That's a gift. I know a number of you have reached out about that. If you want to deep dive into just looking at different aspects and areas of your life and where there's, what's going well and where there's stuckness or challenges, obstacles, and then what do you want to create and your vision for what you want that to look like. Send me a message if you'd like to inquire and or schedule that with me one-on-one. Glad you had a good day, Rose. And my birthday's tomorrow, y'all. Tomorrow in Bali, if you don't know, I'm in Bali, June 12th. And I'll be going live in the morning to start my birthday. So, yes. Ooh, that's great, Rose. That's a really powerful moment. What I'm hearing is you had a shift in your perception in that moment, and you had presence and connection to the moment. It's amazing. Thank you for sharing. So, if you want to revisit any of my replays, I can send you the link to the channel, or you can find it on my, my links and everything where I am is very accessible to find. So, we will go ahead and jump in to Conversations with God. And for those that are new, God is not any sort of religious concept here. So although God can be a religious word to some people, I invite you to release that. Also, anything in this book that might touch a nerve or there might be resistance to is a wonderful invitation to just be the observer and the witness that it touched a nerve. Oh, isn't that interesting? There's something here for me. To allow that to be an invitation to open your mind and not close it. Not for the purpose to change your mind, but just as an inquiry. Because there's some stuff that'll get under your skin in here. Or may. I don't want to create that in anyone. For me, that's happened. So then there's a opportunity to stretch your perception, your views, and your mindset. In AA, of which I've been a member for, most of my life, there's a quote at the end of the book, and I actually happen to have my book right here. That's all falling apart because, what got me into coaching is doing this with as many people as I possibly could, starting around COVID time, to where I took people through this process. And it changed my life and actually led me to be here with you and to start coaching. So that's why my book looks like this. Hey, Ginger. But what I wanted to share is at the very end, and this is not the whole book, I pulled out a portion. It says, there's a principle which is a bar against all information, which is proof against all arguments, and which cannot fail to keep a person in everlasting ignorance. That principle is contempt prior to investigation. Herbert Spencer. So, an invitation here that if something touches an idea or a belief or a perception within you, that that you not discard it. Hi, Duchess. So if you are following along in the book itself with me, page 100, exactly. And I invite you to release any ideas of needing to catch up or being late, or like that this needs to be a linear process for you. Trust that wherever you're finding this right now is fine and perfect. And just, the replays are available. I have playlists for this book and the other series I've done here in my channel. Welcome, Sulaiman. I'm sure that is not correct. So, glad to see you. So, Sulaiman, wow, awesome. Okay. I'm going to rewind one paragraph to where we left off. We got really deep. I mean, this book, everything is deep. Glad you're here, Duchess. So, the author, it's a conversation with God, so it's author and God speaking back and forth. So the author says, I still wonder how it can be that heaven is right here and I don't experience it. You cannot experience what you don't know, and you don't know you are in heaven right now because you have not experienced it. You see, for you, it's a vicious circle. You have not found a way yet to experience what you don't know, and you do not know what you have not experienced. In all the religious terms, heaven, hell, God, it's not religious, or the religious terms. So release any ideas around that. What enlightenment asks you to do is to know something you have not experienced and thus experience it. Knowing opens the door to experience, and you imagine it is the other way around. Actually, you know a great deal more than you've experienced. You simply don't know that you know. You know that there is a God, for instance, but you may not know that you know that. So you keep waiting around for that experience, and all the while you keep having it. Yet you are having it without knowing it, which is like not having it at all. Did that land? Yeah, great, me too. Boy, we're going around in circles here. Yes, we are. And instead of going around in circles, perhaps we should be the circle itself. This doesn't have to be a vicious circle, it can be a sublime one. So now the topic shifts, and this is where we came up to before. Is renunciation a part of the truly spiritual life? Yes, because ultimately all spirit renounces what is not real, and nothing in the life you lead is real, save your relationship with me. Yet renunciation in the classic sense of self-denial is not required. A true master does not give up something. A true master simply sets it aside, as he would do with anything for which he no longer has any use. There are those who say you must overcome your desires. I say you must simply change them. The first practice feels like a rigorous discipline, the second a joyful exercise. There are those who say that to know God you must overcome all earthly passions, yet to understand and accept them is enough. What you resist persists. What you look at disappears. Those who seek so earnestly to overcome all earthly passions often work at it so hard that it might be said this has become their passion, They have a passion for God, a passion to know Him. But passion is passion, and to trade one for the other does not eliminate it. Therefore, judge not that about which you feel passionate. Simply notice it, then see if it serves you, given who and what you wish to be. Remember, you are constantly in the act of creating yourself. You are in every moment deciding who and what you are. You decide this largely through the choices you make regarding who and what you feel passionate about. Often a person on what you call a spiritual path looks like he's renounced all earthly passion, all human desire. What he has done is understand it, see the illusion, and step aside from the passions that do not serve him, all the while loving the illusion for what it's brought to him, the chance to be wholly free. Passion is the love of turning being into action. Passion is the love of turning being into action. It fuels the engine of creation. It changes concepts to experience. Passion is the fire that drives us to express who we really are. Passion is the fire that drives us to express who we really are. Never deny passion, for that is to deny who you are and who you truly want to be. The renunciate never denies passion. The renunciate simply denies attachment to results. Passion is a love of doing. Doing is being experienced. Passion is a love of doing. Doing is being experienced. Whew. Juicy, juicy. What's coming up for y'all when you hear this? Jamie, that's a great point. So having a passion to be grateful, what would that open up? And it's like there's so much to be grateful for in every moment around all of our experience all the time. When we don't have that mindset, it's like a mindset, right? A mindset means like having an intention. So having an intention to look around and appreciate and be grateful for everything around us, it creates that shift of perception, and then, more things to be grateful for come. We can also look at it from this view of, this passion to express. Doing is being experienced. Being is the energy in which the essence of who we are in any moment, and we get to create that. We're always consciously or unconsciously creating ourselves in every moment. Who do I want to be right now in this live stream? Who do you want to be right now in this live stream? I want to be open, inspired, passionate, loving, present. So, plate clear, open. So when I come from that, I'm creating myself to be that. And then in the doing of me sharing this, I am doing and transmitting those energies into what I'm doing. Yet what is often created as part of doing? Expectation. To live your life without expectation, without the need for specific results, that is freedom. That is godliness. That is how I live. So this is where like the suffering comes in, that the Buddhism talks about. So if I'm like showing up here expecting something from you all, then that's going to create suffering. If I show up here and I'm just doing and being without any attachment, I'm just doing this to do it, to share because of my passion, that is freedom right now, here in this moment. I am free. So that's why doing like values work, like what are your core values, and then having those be top of mind for you, and creating, your day and looking at your life and what you do and who you are. If you were to only, like, first figure out your core values and then only do things that are in alignment with those, is such a powerful way to live because it's coming from that passion. And it reminds me of like, okay, I meditate to get results. I meditate with an expectation. I'm still not enlightened. Does anybody else have that experience? That you meditate because you're wanting to get somewhere and you're wanting a result. Somewhere somebody said that, you need to, or you get to meditate with the intention that it's like you're playing music or dancing. So think about listening to music, listening to songs, playing music, playing instruments, dancing. You don't do it to create a result at the end. I mean, you can, but in its purest sense, you're doing it because it's enjoyable and you enjoy the moment and the creation of it. So that was really powerful for me. Like, I'm just meditating to meditate, letting go of expectations. So the author now says, you are not attached to results, asking God. Absolutely not. My joy is in the creating, not in the aftermath. Renunciation is not a decision to deny action. Renunciation is a decision to deny a need for a particular result. There is a vast difference. Could you explain what you mean by the statement, passion is the love of turning being into action? Beingness is the highest state of existence. It is the purest essence. It is the now, not now, the all, not all, the always, never aspect of God. Pure being is pure God-ing. Yet it has never been enough for us to simply be. We've always yearned to experience what we are, and that requires a whole other aspect of divinity called doing. Let us say that you are at the core of your wonderful self, that aspect of divinity called love. This is, by the way, the truth of you. Now, it is one thing to be love and quite another thing to do something loving. The soul longs to do something about what it is, in order that it might know itself in its own experience. So it will seek to realize its highest idea through action. This urge to do this is called passion. Kill passion and you kill God. Passion is God wanting to say hi. But you see, once God, or God in you, does that loving thing, God has realized itself and needs nothing more. Man, on the other hand, human, often feels he needs a return on his investment. If we're going to love somebody, fine, but we'd better get some love back, that sort of thing. This is not passion, this is expectation. This is the greatest source of man's unhappiness. It is what separates man from God. The renunciate seeks to end this separation through the experience some Eastern mystics have called samadhi, that is, oneness and union with God, a melding with and melting into divinity. The renunciate therefore renounces results, but never ever renounces passion. Indeed, the master knows intuitively that passion is the path. It is the way to self-realization. Even in earthly terms, it can be fairly said that if you have a passion for nothing, you have no life at all. You have said that what you resist persists and what you look at disappears. Can you explain that? You cannot resist something to which you grant no reality. You cannot resist something to which you grant no reality. The act of resisting a thing is the act of granting it life. When you resist an energy, you place it there. The more you resist, the more you make it real, whatever it is you are resisting. What you open your eyes and look at disappears. That is, it ceases to hold its illusory form. If you look at something, truly look at it, you will see right through it, and right through any illusion it holds for you, leaving nothing but ultimate reality in your sight. In the face of ultimate reality, your puny illusion has no power. It cannot long hold you in its weakening grip. You see the truth of it, and the truth sets you free. But what if you don't want the thing you're looking at to disappear? You should always want it to. There is nothing in your reality to hold on to. Yet if you do choose the illusion of your life over ultimate reality, you may simply recreate it, just as you created it to begin with. In this way, you may have in your life what you choose to have, and eliminate from your life what you no longer wish to experience. Yet never resist anything. If you think that by your resistance you will eliminate it, think again. You only plant it more firmly in place. Have I not told you all thought is creative? Even a thought that says, I don't want something. If you don't want it, why think about it? Don't give it a second thought. Yet if you must think about it, that is, if you cannot not think about it, then do not resist. Rather, look at it, whatever it is, directly. Accept the reality as your creation, then choose to keep it or not as you wish. What would dictate that choice? Who and what you think you are, and who and what you choose to be. This dictates all choice, every choice you've made in your life and ever will make. Look at whatever it is directly. Accept the reality as your creation. Then choose to keep it or not as you wish. What would dictate that choice? Who and what you think you are, and who and what you choose to be. This dictates all choice, every choice you've made in your life and ever will make. Who do you think you are? I'm asking everyone here. If you think of yourself as somebody that's lazy, not smart, not disciplined, not good enough, a victim, then that will dictate your choice. In every moment we have a choice to create ourselves from default, which is the past and who and what we thought we were, or who and what we choose to be now. This dictates every choice you've ever made in your life and ever will make. It always comes back to this, doesn't it? The power of choice is within us. It can't be taken away. Outside circumstances cannot encroach upon that ever, no matter what. My favorite coach, Steve Hardison, has been coaching a very powerful coach, Steve Chandler, for 30 years or 40 years. And Steve Chandler said the most powerful question that his coach asked him was, when he would bring a problem to his coach, he would say, given this situation, what do you want to create? Given this situation, what do you want to create? Hi, Heather. That's why, like Abraham Hicks says, there's a war against cancer and a war against drugs and a war against this, that, and the other. War is resistance to what is. And so actually that energy makes the thing bigger. That's why I do my best to not engage with any sort of polarities and things out in the world, not watching news or any of that stuff. That way I'm not giving energy to it. All of my energy is here in this journey of awakening, because it's the only, thing that I can actually do something about. And when we work with ourselves on the inside, we change the outside and, be the change you want to see in the world. When we awaken, when we realize ourselves, when we free ourselves, it's not in a vacuum and it never will be. When you change, your family will change. When you change, your job will change. It happened to me. I told y'all in the beginning, if you were here earlier, I showed you this book. I started dedicating my life to being of service And, in 12-step, in its purest form, there's no money involved. It was just purely to do it. And then I fell in love with it, and it was my passion, and it still is. It was a new thing back then. And then interestingly, after like 6 or 9 months of fully immersing myself in selfless service, my job is suddenly, I left it, but it went away. I know I vibrated out of my job. My personality changed. I changed. The person I evolved into did not have that job. That Natalie, who'd had that same job for almost 13 years, that Natalie did not exist anymore. So the job went with that old personality. And then I became a coach. And it's just constantly, this is happening all the time. Hi, Claire. Aiden. Yeah. That's a great question, Duchess. Why have you created it? I don't pretend to know the answers. You might not know right now in the midst of it. For me, hindsight helps illuminate things. You may not see from this moment, but maybe in the future you'll be like, oh, now I see because XYZ happened, and I see that had to happen for XYZ. Like for me, this dog bite on my face, y'all, many of you have heard about that. It actually happened 9 years ago, in like next week, here in Bali, right where I'm living, very close by. When I was in the midst of this and I had a nervous breakdown, and it was hell and just a shit show. If you would have said, why am I creating this? I'd be like, I don't know, get me the fuck out of this, and I don't want it, and I would never do this. But now with hindsight and knowing how my life story progressed as a result of this, it now does make sense, because everything's happening for me and not to me. I see how I created it. From fear, contraction. And the events that unfolded as a result of that put me on the path to really be here with you. I mean, we can't separate these things out. Hi, Sarah. Glad it's resonating. Dana, hello. Thank you. You're welcome. Interesting, Duchess. Can you see, the lesson or the blessing in that, or the opportunity? I also had a horrible cat thing here. Anyway, I won't go into the story, but I was very stupid. I'm actually embarrassed to say it, so I'm going to say it. I tried to break up a cat fight. Bless my heart. I know to never do that again. And it wasn't like they were like this and I'm trying to do this, but they separated momentarily, and in the moment of separation, I went to get the cat, and that was just a bad idea because, of course, the cat was not in its regular mode, and so, but yeah, I had a injury here that, thank goodness, didn't do anything, but made me very grateful for my hand and its ability to move and how much I use my dominant hand. And, even on my motorbike, like I couldn't drive. And yeah, whew. So, and again, that was another, interestingly, I was pet sitting for both this and that. Interestingly, I was in over responsibility mode for those pets. Overachiever, over responsibility mode, and fear instead of in trust and relaxation. If I would have been coming and creating myself from adequacy, from trust, from relaxation, from surrender, if I would have surrendered in both of those experiences, neither thing would have occurred. And also, like the dog bite thing was a lot bigger because it led to a nervous breakdown, and I mean, it's a whole big story, and it's me calling it that myself. But from it came deep, deep transformation that essentially has led me here, another layer on the journey. That's very interesting, Duchess. And sometimes we won't know. Like, a client said to me the other day, like, asking why doesn't come from faith. Now, if we're looking to be to see the lesson in the blessing and the opportunity, that can be a helpful exercise. But if we're just like, why did this happen? And I want to figure it out and analyze it to death, to like stay in here, that's not helpful. So there's a balance. So we will finish this chapter. It's just one more page. So the author asks, and so the life of a renunciate is an incorrect path? God says, that's not a truth. The word renunciate holds such wrongful meaning. In truth, you cannot renounce anything because what you resist persists. The true renunciate does not renounce, but simply chooses differently. This is an act of moving towards something, not away from something. You cannot move away from something because it will chase you all over hell and back. Therefore, resist not temptation, but simply turn from it, turn toward me, and away from anything unlike me. Yet know this, there is no such thing as an incorrect path. For on this journey, you cannot not get where you are going. It's simply a matter of speed, merely a question of when you will get there. Yet even that is an illusion, for there is no when, neither is there a before or after. There is only now, an eternal moment of always in which you are experiencing yourself. Then what's the point? If there's no way not to get there, what's the point of life? Why should we worry at all about anything we do? Well, of course, you shouldn't, but you would do well to be observant. Simply notice who and what you are being, doing, and having, and see whether it serves you. The point of life is not to get anywhere. It is to notice that you are and have always been already there. You are always and forever in the moment of pure creation. The point of life is therefore to create who and what you are, and then to experience that. So this is very powerful teaching. There is no such thing as an incorrect path. I mean, my mind, the small part of the mind, the ego mind, the separate self, would argue that, oh, I wish that shouldn't have happened. I wish that hadn't have happened. That was bad that it happened, whatever it is. But there is no such thing as an incorrect path, because you cannot not get where you are going. Does that soothe you? And everything that you see as an obstacle or a challenge or a not wanted is actually the path towards God and, getting what you, quote, want. Everything is conspiring to help us. To help us what? To help us be here now, an eternal moment of always in which you are experiencing yourself. Everything that you can think about, every memory, every worry, every experience has only happened now. Back then it was now when it happened. And when you think about it, you're thinking about it now. So there's no such thing as an incorrect path. You cannot not get there, not get where you're going. It's simply a matter of speed, just a when you will get there. But even that's an illusion, because there is no when, there is no before or after, there is only now, an eternal moment of always in which you are experiencing yourself. You would do well to be observant. Simply notice who and what you are being, doing, and having, and see whether it serves you. Does it serve you in the moment that you're sitting pissed off at your cubicle, judging your coworker over there? Does that serve you? Put in whatever example you want. This takes deep presence, mindfulness, not falling asleep to the mind's stream of thinking in every moment. I was waiting to pay for my coffee earlier, and there was this, suddenly I didn't see them until I got up to pay, and there was a group of people there in front of me. And I noticed the mind not liking that they were there. It's inconvenient, judging them. And I noticed. I wasn't purely that experience. I noticed. And then what I chose to do was I noticed the tendency to close in my heart, like Michael Singer talks about. I noticed the energy in my heart. I did my best to be present and soften around that. And then I practiced blessing those people. There's a book called The Gentle Art of Blessing. We may do that one down the line here in the lives. But, so bless everyone you see all the time. It's amazing. So I just blessed them. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Aiden. Thank you for sharing. So the point of life is not to get anywhere. It is to notice that you are and always have been already there. Every single moment of your life, you were there. And you're here now thinking about that moment. You are always and forever in the moment of pure creation. The point of life is therefore to create who and what you are and then to experience that. Here's the answer to life. It's to create who and what you are and then experience that. The knowing and then the experience, as it said earlier. So, deep thoughts for y'all that are my age and Saturday Night Live. Remember that one? Phil Hartman, Deep Thoughts by Jack Candy. Hi, Dawn. Did I say hi earlier? Nancy. Okay. I will see y'all tomorrow morning for my birthday. If you want to catch the replays, do that on my YouTube. Follow me here, follow me there, follow me everywhere. Thank you, Poonam. Oh, Dana. Thank you, Aiden. So that, yes, and it's actually, if anyone wants the Gentle Art of Blessing, it's a quite short audio file or audio link I can share with you. Send me a private message. Actually, let's do this since this is coming in. This will be great. Thank you, Heather, J.E., Dana, thank you, Jamie, Blossom Violet, Sarah. Let's listen to, there's this 3-minute daily blessing from the book that I recorded and sometimes listen to. So let's listen to that to close. That'll be good if I can find it. Here we go.
On a week.
Okay. Thank you, Kathy, Lolly, Cynthia. Thank you. Thank you all for the love. Hi, Sarah. We got a couple Sarahs here. Really appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah, let's take this in and have a moment of blessing. Thank you, Mishi.
Bless this day, for it is already full of unseen good, which your blessings will call forth. For to bless is to acknowledge the unlimited good that is embedded in the texture of the universe and awaiting each and all. On passing people in the street, on the bus, in places of work and play, bless them. The peace of your blessing will accompany them on their way, and its aura will be a light on their path. On meeting people and talking to them, bless them in their health, their work, their joy, their relationship to the universe, themselves and others. Bless them in their abundance and their finances. Bless them in every conceivable way, for such blessings not only sow seeds of healing, but one day will spring forth as flowers in the waste places of your own life. As you walk, bless the city in which you live, its government and teachers, its nurses and street sweepers, its children and bankers, its priests and prostitutes. The minute anyone expresses the least aggression or unkindness to you, respond with a blessing. Bless them totally, sincerely, joyfully. For such blessings are a shield that protects them from the ignorance of their misdeed and deflects the arrow that was aimed at you. To bless means to wish unconditionally and from the deepest chamber of your heart unrestricted good for others and events. It means to hallow, to hold in reverence, to behold with awe that which is always a gift from the Creator. He who is hallowed by your blessing is set aside, consecrated, holy, whole. To bless is to invoke divine care upon, to speak or think gratefully for, to confer happiness upon, although we ourselves are never the bestower, but simply the joyful witness of life's abundance. To bless all without distinction is the ultimate form of giving, because those you bless will never know from whence came the sudden ray that burst through the clouds of their skies, and you will rarely be a witness to the sunlight in their lives. When something goes completely askew in your day, when some unexpected event upsets your plans and upsets you, burst into blessing. For life is teaching you a lesson, and the very event you believed to be unwanted, you yourself called forth, so as to learn the lesson you might balk against, were you not to bless it. Trials are blessings in disguise, and hosts of angels follow in their path. To bless is to acknowledge the omnipresent, universal beauty hidden from material eyes. It is to activate that law of attraction, which from the furthest reaches of the universe will bring into your life exactly what you need to experience and enjoy. When you pass a prison, mentally bless its inmates in their innocence and freedom, their gentleness, pure essence, and unconditional forgiveness. For one can only be a prisoner of one's self-image, and a free man can walk unshackled in jail, just as citizens of a free country may be prisoners of the fear lurking within their thoughts. When you pass a hospital, bless its patients in their present wholeness, for even in their suffering, their wholeness awaits discovery within them. When your eyes behold a man in tears, seemingly broken by life, bless him his vitality and joy, for the material senses present but the inverted image of the ultimate splendor and perfection that only the inner eye beholds. It is impossible to bless and judge at the same time, so hold constantly as a deep, hallowed, intoned thought the desire to bless, for truly then shall you become a peacemaker, and one day you shall behold everywhere the very face of God. P.S. And of course, above all, remember to bless the utterly beautiful person you are.
Isn't that awesome? What a great day way to start the day. Thank you, Rose, for the donation. So, Dana, that is what I recorded as I was listening to the audio book. So that snippet I can share directly. Send me a private message, and anybody else that wants that. Yeah, it's impossible to bless and judge at the same time. Judgment is resistance. So even if we look at what you resist persists, is what we just read in the book. Isn't that interesting? So when we bless, and then when we bless, what was the thing? What you look at disappears. And you can see through to reality. That's what blessing is. Thanks for saying that, Jamie. Thank you, Nancy, for the donation. Wendy, Sarah. So yeah, if y'all want to come join for a bit for my birthday, I will see you very soon or next time. So bless you all. Amy, bless you. Okay, see you very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.